Okay, it was a good meeting today with the fellas. Defense was really fired up about playing some good football, and it was really good for them to see the improvement and make a big difference in the game. And so made it a fun day today with the fellas. Got to get back to business again. Got a little ball game to watch tonight. Kind of fun to watch the game and see what's going on with that one, and get a start on our preparation for next week, for this week. And so we're looking forward to it.
Pete, when you look back at the film of this game on the defensive side, what are the things that you saw that makes you believe that this is a step forward that's going to be sustainable for you guys?
Everything. Yeah, really everything, you know. Started up front. The guys got off the ball really well. We had a little trouble tracking down the quarterback, but we really had great pressure during the day. And the running game the traditional running game we played especially well. We had a hard time, getting Murray down, but the fact that we played the kind of game that gave our offense a chance to win when we weren't real productive. We moved the ball okay, and we're in position to score a lot of points. We just didn't hit it in the red zone like we need to, and so we needed the defense to play well, and so it was a good combined win for us, and we know that we can count either side of the football right now.
Went back and looked at the third downs on offense. What did you see?
Yeah, there was a collection of things that took place. A couple things were timing, footwork, not being ready to throw the ball early, and got the pocket, kind of crushed a little bit by a good pass rush on the edge. There was some untimely stuff. We didn't execute as well as we needed to get the ball out, and so we just got behind it, and it just wasn't as clean as it's been. Excuse me. The other thing is that they did a lot of stuff, and they always do, and it was a good challenge for us.
Yeah, just not that. Arizona started 4 for 5 on third down, and I don't think they got one the rest of the game. What did you guys clean up in that regard?
Everything cleaned up during the course of the game for us. If the first quarter was a little harried, with the tempo and just getting going and excited and all of that, maybe if you think about the first drive, was really a big deal for them, in that they scored and they got some first downs and converted there, like you're saying. And then from that point on, they didn't get in the end zone, and so we just got better as the game went on. We needed to catch up with the tempo a little bit with the things that we were doing, and the adjustments that the coaches did and the guys did on the sidelines was really beneficial. And we were able to, kind of calm the whole tempo of the thing down and fit our players' mentality a little bit better than, early on. It was kind of crazy.
Some good pass rushers this season. What was different about what Arizona was doing yesterday?
We held the football a little bit more. We weren't quite as quick with the ball, and our timing wasn't as good. And that's not a characteristic that we want to stick to. We want to get the ball out, and so just because of one thing or another, we weren't quite as clean as we needed to be for the stuff they were doing, and so that really was kind of told the story.
Seemed like that was maybe Darrell Taylor's best game of the year.
Are you a big Halloween fan? My bad. I ain't mean to interrupt. Are you a big Halloween fan?
Yeah, matter of fact, I am a pretty good sized Halloween fan, and
me and the guys are throwing a little Halloween party. Just wanted to invite you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Now get out of your hair, because I know you've seen me all day today. Peace out.
You won't know what I am by my costume. I want you to know that.
You can come to Pete.
That's too hard. Hey, who could do that? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to about Darrell Taylor. It seemed like that was maybe his best game of the year yesterday.
I thought he really looked good. Yeah, he played really fast and was a factor on the edge. I was really fired up to see that. Yeah, because it's. I think we found a good rhythm for the way we were alternating and rotating stuff, and he had a really nice day attacking the line of scrimmage, getting off on the count, playing with the crowd, and the whole thing. It worked great for him, and gave us a chance for him to be a bigger factor. It was a great rush, the one they forced the fumble on in particular, but he had some other ones too.
Kuna had 3 tackles for loss and a sack. What allowed him to get going?
He took advantage of the plan. Some things that were adjusted, he took advantage of it and really was active. He had a really good game. It was the best game for this season for sure, and one of his better games ever. So it was really fun to see that. So good. That was good results.
How's Oliver doing?
He wants to practice on Wednesday. He feels pretty good about it. He needed the break, and it was close for him to try, and he could have tried, but we really didn't want to force it, thinking that it might cause his the soreness that he had to linger a little bit. So the report today, from him, we'll see. We'll take it easy on him Wednesday also, but he wants to go, so that's a good sign.
How has LJ looked getting back into practice for you last couple of weeks?
Do we know about his thumb? Did you guys know about that? He hurt his thumb last week, a little bit late in the week, and it just slowed him down a little bit. And was he not even on the report?
He's not on the roster.
Oh, that's why. That's right. Okay, yeah. And so it would have really forced the issue to have him play. It happened in like Thursday's practice, and so. God, I thought that was one of those moments where I really screwed up. Right? No, but I didn't. I feel good. I feel great. Any more questions about Halloween? So anyway, we'll have to wait and see how it's going.
What Gabe Jackson? Where's he standing?
We got to wait and see. Right off the bat, I can't tell you that he's raring to go yet. We'll have to see how the days go this week.
Kind of question to that, and Phil Payne's play and just his versatility.
Yeah, I thought Phil played real solid. Had some really good blocks and some good pass pickups and stuff. He did just fine. He really plays like a starter for us. So we feel that the fact that he can play both sides and he can start, we wouldn't even hesitate, is a real big plus right now.
Pete, what do you make of special teams? It seems like you guys are doing a lot of things well, and then there's been one play.
It's just bugging the heck out of all of us because we are really good on teams. We're in 98% of it, but then we've had a play and it wrecks the game for you in a sense. So we really have had those just almost disastrous plays that just don't fit us at all. So we're working hard. We made a big plea to the guys that we got to clean up every snap, not just some here, some there. But we've been really consistent with our coverage and so and the kickers are doing well. So it's just unfortunate. Mike's decision last week and then this one we just made a real error on the one that happened this week but man, those are big plays, So. We're going to do everything in our power to fix it.
On that play,
I don't know if you knew Nick after the fact kind of went out of his way to make it known that he was the one who messed that up and he didn't want Colin or anyone else taking the blame for that. What does that show you leadership-wise with a player?
Yeah. Well, he did have a chance to figure in on it, and we just did something that we normally don't do, and we didn't coordinate it well. Whenever you make stuff up, or you do stuff outside of the preparation, you're really, really vulnerable and susceptible to something bad happening, and that was one of them, and it was an in-game, in-moment choice, to make a call, and we didn't handle it well. So I love that Nick would step up, and because it would look like, how come the personal protector did it? It wasn't his job. It wasn't his job. So. Yeah, he's a stud.
How much of that, though, I know that Nick is going to take responsibility for that. It's his job to set the protection there. But how much of that is also not having the same people on teams due to injuries to kind of help check some of that and be other voices?
I'm not going to give it that one, okay? I don't think that's the case at all. I think in the moment, it was the wrong choice to adjust, to make the adjustment that we did. But it was for a good reason, but it just wasn't the right time, and we weren't prepared to do it that way.
After you watched the film, what stood out about the way Kenneth ran yesterday?
Well, I loved that he showed the stuff that we've been seeing. You really saw the extraordinary, side-to-side lateral stuff that he has. He'll be more consistent, though. He's going to get better. He's going to get better at seeing things and taking advantage of the blocks and all of that. Man, he's a good football player, though. And so, 21 carries that's a good first start for him. That was a healthy dose, and I'm hoping that we can just keep him growing and he gets his feel and his timing because he's really he's a weapon, and we're pumped up about it.
some of the guys up front on the D-line talked about the plan yesterday being allowing them to be more aggressive, maybe a little bit less reading and reacting as they've been doing earlier in the year. What was the impetus behind changing that tweak there?
I'm glad that they said that because there was, that was part of what we did. That was part of a big adjustment that we thought to make sure that they could utilize their strengths. And I think our guys, really after assessing it, I think our guys are better in that mode. And that's the choice that we made was the decision of the, how to kind of, one part of the adjustments that we did this week. And I thought the coaches did a great job in recognizing it, and the players, it was good communication to make sense of it, and they took full advantage of it.
Is that one of the adjustments that helped Puna, you think?
Yes.
Does it stay that way going forward?
Oh no, we're going to go back to screwing it up. No, why would we want to do that? Well, no. Yes, yeah, we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep getting better, and this was just a stage for us right now that we needed to adjust a bit, and we'll look forward to continuing to grow. There's more stuff. There's more stuff for us to keep working at.
Does having a lot of veteran guys on the defense, the line, kind of make that an easier way to do it that way, or?
Yeah, I think it made sense. We made a plea to them of what we were thinking, and they were totally in favor of it too. So it just worked out great. And like I said, we can't do everything in 1 week's time, but we certainly made progress, and they really responded well. And we had a good game. I think because of that. I think it all started right there.
Said last night that the guys on the defense really took it personal to get this fixed, especially the guys on the defensive line. How did you kind of see them respond last week and the kind of emotions that they had?
Well, it's been a few weeks we haven't been playing the way we want to play. It didn't just happen, and it wasn't a one-day thing. We've been working at it, and we've been tweaking some stuff, and we finally just made a declaration in a particular direction that everybody took to, and they wanted it to work out too, because they want to play the way we played yesterday, and they did it. And so that's a big accomplishment for us. And I know you all been waiting for, okay, when's something going to happen? Well, this was a big step, and I'm hoping that we'll continue. That's just one game, so it doesn't, the whole world didn't change for us, but it put us in the right direction.
Quandre was asked about Tariq's interception, and he was like, I don't know why any quarterback would try a guy that tall and that fast. When you look at this guy's physical views, I'm just wondering, why do you think he dropped so low to the 5th round? Was it just his inexperience?
Like I've said, you got to watch this film. Watch what he looked like. He was pretty, he was, it was a little rough around the edges. Let's put it that way. So, but the potential was there, and even, John's talked about it a little bit too. That he didn't see this coming. That would be, this obvious that he could play this early, and. But he's just taken to it. It's just the merging of his background and all of that, and the way we talked, and the stuff that we do fits him perfectly. For his makeup and all, and he's just been so receptive. He's been, you guys have seen him. He's a really, easy to communicate with kid, and he's got a great mind on him that allows him to be comfortable with the challenges and all. He's not stressed out by it. He's having the time of his life, and he'll wake up at the end of the season and figure out what happened. We'll see what happens.
The injuries to Sydney and Artie in training camp gave him the opportunity to get the start to begin the year a little bit because of the time loss and all that, but when did you start to feel comfortable that, like, if we have to start in game 1, he's done enough to show us that he's going to get there? And when did you kind of realize that?
No, I really started playing with the thought after about the first full week we saw him. I thought, okay, maybe, because you could see it. And I just started getting my mind ready for, okay, maybe how far can he go, how fast? And it just kept happening and happening. He had really great matchups with Marquise in practice. Was really the what showed us, that he could hang. And then he and DK started locking horns, and they both took to the competition of it in a really magnificent way, because they, those two guys they've just had a great attitude about it, and they've respected each other. And of course, it was easy for Wool to do that, but DK really kind of almost took it under his wing in a sense. Come on, let's go again, let's battle it out, and all that, it just accelerated the process, because it's pretty easy to convince the guy. You're going against these guys that can fly, and you got a big guy, you got a smaller, fast guy, and lock, and all of that. We just convinced him. I think that it's working, and it helped his confidence just jump early, and so that's kind of what happened, and. So I'm so hesitant to go very far with talking about it, because we're so early in the season. But he's doing a magnificent job so far.
Do you remember who it was that told you, "Hey, you need to watch this guy's college"?
No, I'm let's give it to John. John would have said something for sure along the ways. But while they're going through their arduous meetings to go through all these guys. I'm looking at the numbers and stuff like that. I do the quick check, so I have my guys that, well, let me check this guy out. He looks pretty interesting, and he certainly was a guy just because his numbers were crazy. I don't remember him, at the combine jumping off the combine charts other than his time, but it was all in the scouts. They figured out it was a good guy to take a shot at.
When you guys drafted Kenneth, there's sort of the debate in the analytic community sort of about how high to draft running backs, and like you guys got Chris in the 7th round, and do you wait? But when you drafted Kenneth, what did you do? Was that just kind of we really need to get this guy
Yeah, there was
here?
a couple guys on top that we really thought were just really the real deal, and the other guy's doing good too. But it was, we just thought it was pretty obvious. The style of runs, the way they leaned on him, the ability to come to a new program and have such an impact, that's kind of significant too, that the guy's the real deal. And so there was a lot that added up, but we felt pretty confident, and we were excited about taking a running back, if it fell in place for us. So really trying to get the 1-2 punch thing going, and have that kind of a thought.
Generalizing here, but is there any one common denominator in why this rookie class has been able to step up to the moment like they are?
Well, obviously they have enough talent. Okay, that's we hit it with that evaluation, but I think it's more so the mentality of these guys. They're all kind of humble, hardworking, kind of nose to the grindstone type of guys, and so it's been really accessible to reach them and to get to them and make them understand what their expectations are and the standards and how you got to go about it. And they've just been really accepting. I mean, they've been so coachable. Just have been no issues. And so that's a commonality, and that's really that's a credit to our guys doing the evaluations, because it's so important, the makeup of the players. And we didn't miss it on any of these guys in terms of their approach to the game and their sincerity and their competitiveness, the things that give them a chance. The athletics is important, but it's the whole other part of this thing that to handle it and deal with it. I mean, what Abe and Charles are doing, this, like we know, it's historic. These guys don't do this, and so they have to have the right makeup and constitution, to be able to handle this kind of stuff, and so pretty cool.
Watching the game tonight, obviously, generally you don't get to see your opponent live because you're playing the same time or around then. Just what's the difference in watching a game where you don't have the film, you're not rewinding, just watching it play out versus during the week when you're studying it?
Well, this thing tonight is kind of cool because I got a couple monitors going over here, and I got the game going over here, and we're sitting together with a couple coaches. So this is like I'm in heaven on this deal. I got everything going at the same time, which is the way I like it. But it's getting a feel for the opponent. The game and the announcers, and they give you a bunch of background. You see stats, you hear all kinds of stuff that just adds to the process. You just get more input. So I mean, I'm downloading all of that, in real time, which is really fun. So it's kind of a fun experience. So I mean, I asked all the guys, let's make sure you watch the game tonight. Let's not miss this one. There's too much advanced info that we can pick up, and so the broadcasts do a good job of that. You get to know who you're dealing with more so than just looking at the film.
Was Dee's production just coincidence or part of a concerted effort to get him more involved?
No, we're trying. The last 2 weeks he's done a really good job. Like I said, he was sick. He missed Wednesday. We weren't sure if I think he had to zoom in on Thursday's meetings, but he felt good enough to get to the practice field. So he's done a really good job last couple weeks of doing stuff right and being on call, and we can count on him. We want him to be involved, and you can see why. He looks good. He's quick and explosive and all of that, and we can't wait to include him more as we go. So it's just part of the process right now.
Is Gino running the ball maybe better than you guys would have
Yeah,
expected?
he is. He is doing well. His first slide, I just told him it looked like about a second-year little leaguer. But he got down like he needs to, and I've been giving him a hard time about it. Let's not get hit, And anyway, so, but but he's explosive. I mean, on the run that that we make, he becomes the lead blocker on. Here comes Kenneth around the corner. He looked pretty fast right there. He was rolling. Now, he didn't look fast to hit anybody, but he looked fast to clear the corner. But if Gino would have had the shot, he would have taken it. He just didn't really get one.
Cody played the biggest fewest snaps of the season. Cody Barton, was that just a matchup thing or something you saw?
Yeah, it was just how the game plan came to us.
Anything else? Thank you.
Okay.